When my wife, Emma, came to me one evening and suggested we take a 2-week break to test our marriage, I didn't know what to say. We had been together for 7 years, and though we had our share of arguments, I thought we were solid. She said it would give us time to think about what we truly wanted, to reflect without pressure. Her voice was calm, but her eyes seemed distant, like her mind was already elsewhere. I didn't like the idea, but I agreed because I thought maybe she needed space and this could help us. The first night without her felt strange. The house was quiet, too quiet. I kept expecting her to walk in, laugh about something silly, or complain about work. Instead, I ate dinner alone and stared at the empty chair across the table. I told myself this was temporary, just a short break, and that she'd come back ready to work things out. On the second day, I tried to keep myself busy. I went for a run, cleaned the garage, even caught up with an old friend for coffee. But in the back of my mind, I kept wondering what Emma was doing. I imagined her visiting her parents, reading a book, or maybe just taking long walks to clear her head. I trusted her, or at least I wanted to believe I did. By the third day, my phone buzzed with a message from my cousin, Mark. It was a screenshot from social media. There was Emma, smiling in a photo, sitting close to a man I'd never seen before. His arm was around her, and they looked like a couple on a date. The caption was something harmless on the surface, "Enjoying the evening." But the body language told a different story. My stomach dropped, and a wave of heat rushed through me. I didn't want to jump to conclusions, but my hands were shaking as I stared at the picture. I zoomed in, searching for some innocent explanation, but there wasn't one. It wasn't a group picture or a work event, it was intimate. That smile she had in the photo was the same one she used to give me when we first started dating. I called her immediately, my heart pounding. She didn't pick up. I sent a message asking who the man was. No reply. Hours later, she finally responded, "I think it's better if we don't talk until the 2 weeks are over. Please respect that." That sentence hit me harder than the photo itself. It was cold, detached, and nothing like the woman I thought I knew. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying our last conversation, wondering if she had planned this all along. Was the break just an excuse to see someone else without feeling guilty? My mind was filled with questions I couldn't answer, and my chest felt heavy with betrayal. The next day, another photo surfaced. This time she and the man were at a park, sharing ice cream. She looked happy, free, as if our marriage didn't even exist. Friends started texting me awkwardly, some asking if we were separated, others saying they were sorry for what I was going through. Each message was another stab in the heart. I decided I couldn't just sit and watch. I drove to her apartment, the one she'd rented, just for the 2 weeks. When she opened the door, she looked surprised but not guilty. I asked her straight out if she was seeing him. She didn't deny it. Instead, she said, "I didn't think you'd find out so soon." That single sentence shattered any remaining hope I had. She tried to justify it by saying she needed to explore her feelings, and that our marriage had been over for a while. I reminded her that I was still in that marriage, still fighting for it, but she just looked away. The woman standing in front of me wasn't the one I married. She was someone else entirely. I left without another word. The drive home was a blur. My hands were clenched on the steering wheel, and my mind was numb. I thought about the years we spent together, the vacations, the nights we stayed up talking, the promises we made. All of it felt like it had been erased in 3 short days. Over the next week, I started making decisions. I called a lawyer, explained the situation, and began the process of ending the marriage. It wasn't what I wanted, but I couldn't stay with someone who had already chosen someone else. My trust in her was gone, replaced by a cold emptiness. Emma sent me a long message on the 9th day of the break, saying she was sorry if she hurt me, but she believed she had to follow her heart. I didn't reply. There was nothing left to say. She had shown me exactly where her heart was, and it wasn't with me. By the time the 2 weeks were up, I had signed the initial divorce papers. She came by to pick up some of her things, and we barely spoke. I realized then that the woman I once loved no longer existed, at least not for me. And while the pain was still raw, I knew I had to move forward, even if it meant walking alone. The break she wanted didn't test our marriage, it destroyed it. But in that destruction, I found clarity. I learned that love without loyalty is just an illusion, and that sometimes the hardest part of letting go is accepting the truth you never wanted to see.